Hello everybody, welcome along to Stream Sunday. You'll see I've changed the background to this scene as well. We are gearing up to get AHGP back on track, and by back on track I mean literally, and we're aiming to score some points. So that's the goal of the stream. We need to score some points. What a race today, says Tate Buckley. Yes indeed, and the drama didn't stop, did it? It continued after the fact. George Russell disqualified for being underweight. It's absolutely devastating for him, and I feel really down for him. He'd driven such a good race. No one expected a one stop to be possible, and yet he made it so. It was just an incredible performance. I think if Lewis pulls that off or Verstappen pulls that off, then we're going, that's the drive of a world champion. So let's call it what it is. It was the drive of a world champion. George Russell obviously isn't a world champion yet, potentially in the future, but he's got the skill set. He's got everything you need to be a world champion. He's literally just proven it with that on-track win in Spa. Obviously, it's been taken away. It's a team error. There's nothing George can do about that, but he'll move on through the summer break, come back fighting in Zandvoort. Hey, Justin, how you doing, mate? And for me, as a seasoned veteran of watching Formula One, this is a little bit of karma, a bit of justice, something that happened 16 years ago. So Lewis Hamilton, you've probably all seen it, you've all heard the story. So Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Raikkonen fighting in the final laps. Hamilton dives around the inside, dives down the outside of the Ferrari with his McLaren, gets forced off the track at the bus stop chicane, has to give up the position, retakes the lead into La Source as the rain starts to fall. A crazy lap then ensues. Cars are spinning, cars are off the track. Raikkonen ends up in the wall. Hamilton goes on to take the win, but the stewards deemed that he hadn't given up the advantage of going off the track, cutting the final corner, so they slap him with a 25-second penalty, which almost cost him the World Championship. It didn't, but he never got that win back until today. So in that way, justice has been served. Lewis Hamilton wins the Belgian Grand Prix of 2024. Does mean that Mercedes haven't got the 1-2, which cost them Constructors' Championship points. But for Lewis, on a personal note, obviously delighted for him, 105 wins and counting. So, he's won 2 of the last 3 races. I said to someone while I was watching the race, once he got into the lead, Lewis, he just pulled out that gap to Leclerc. And I said to my mate, when Lewis gets in with a sniff of a victory, he just enters God mode. He's just got this other level that very, very, very few drivers are able to reach. Verstappen is probably in that category of drivers who can just sort of elevate themselves to do something better than what's possible, generically. Schumacher could do it, Senna could do it. There were other drivers who could do it sort of sporadically, but these are the sort of the elite of the elite, that you give them an opportunity to win and they will take it with both hands and they will run away with it. Obviously, Lewis didn't win the race because no one saw a one-stop being possible. So, in that sense, a little bit of justice. But obviously, really, really disappointing for George Russell. He drove superbly. I don't think we should forget that. He did a phenomenal job. The fact that he was able to keep 2 faster cars behind towards the end of the race on a track where it was suggested as easy for overtaking, that's impressive. It was an interesting race though. Give me your race ratings in the chat. For me, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I thought genuinely it was an interesting and exciting race. It wasn't what I feared, which was Verstappen picking off a couple of mid-grid cars, arriving at the back of everybody else and just DRSing his way through. Now, there was a few issues with that for him. The DRS zone was shorter this year, so obviously wasn't as powerful, but also there was a tailwind down the Kemmel Straight, which meant DRS was less effective. So yeah, it was in that sense, it made it a much more interesting race, and overtakes had to be earned. You had to have that pace advantage. You had to really work for it, as George Russell did on Sergio Perez. So, yeah, what ratings have we got coming in? So Tate has given it an 8. Ben's given it a 7. Felt like Norris could have done better. Yeah, for sure he could. But then again, it goes back to that difficulty of overtaking. It was a bit harder than people anticipated today. Justin's given it a 6.5 out of 10. Oh, well, that's a bit harsh. But Crispy Bacon gives it 8.5. Jermac gives it an 8. Yeah, I think it's a solid 8 out of 10. I did do a poll on the Discord for which race has been the best of the year so far. I put a few suggestions in there. Let's have a look at what everyone's been saying. Show me the results. So at the moment, the British Grand Prix is winning that. I mean, I probably could have put Austria on there. Although I didn't actually watch that race because I listened to it on the radio. Hey, Cheesy Galaxy. Hello to Luke Hart Gaming as well. He gives it a 7 out of 10. Tommy has suggested Hungary on the vote. So yeah, get into the Discord. If you're not in there, there's a link down below. Get in there in the general chat section and go and hit your vote. You've got an hour left to vote. But yeah, let's say hello to everyone in chat. Hello to Crispy Bacon. Hello to Justin Inikitis. Hello to Cheesy Galaxy, to Pulse Potato, to Germat, to Tate Buckley. Who else is here? I think I saw someone else knocking about. Tommy was here earlier, and so was Renz. Hello to them. And yeah, let's get this show on the road with AHGP then.